Tonight, Russian airstrikes on the western city of Lviv, near the border with NATO ally Poland, knocking out power in parts of the city. Russia saying it carried out 400 attacks across Ukraine today. Its troops launching an assault on the steel plant in Mariupol it's been bombing for weeks. Fighters there making a last stand, and scores of civilians still believed to be hiding there. Today, more than 100 civilians were finally brought to safety from the plant.
Hi, Marty. How are you?
Ukraine's fight back against Russia has been possible in part because of billions of dollars in US weapons. Today, President Biden visited an Alabama factory to thank the workers who make Javelin anti-tank missiles.
You're allowing the Ukrainians to defend themselves. And quite frankly, they're making fools of the Russian military in many instances.
Russia also bombing here in Kharkiv today as Ukrainian forces are succeeding in pushing them back from the city.
А что будет после слов Бориса Джонсона об ответном ударе по России? Вообще на Британских островах, похоже, заговариваются. Зачем грозить ядерным оружием бескрайней России, сидя на, в общем-то, маленьком острове? Остров столь мал, что лишь одной ракеты «Sarmat» достаточно, чтобы его утопить раз и навсегда. Российской ракете «Sarmat», самой мощной в мире.
Новое смертельное гиперзвуковое оружие способно уничтожить территорию размером с Техас или Англию.
Это всего лишь один пуск, Борис, а Англии нет. Раз и навсегда. Зачем заигрываться? Другой вариант – погрузить Британию в морскую пучину российский подводный робот-беспилотник «Посейдон». Он приближается к цели на километровой глубине со скоростью 200 км в час. Нет никакого способа остановить этот подводный дрон. Боеголовка на нем мощностью до 100 мегатонн. Взрыв этой термоядерной торпеды у берегов Британии поднимет гигантскую волну, цунами высотой до 500 метров. Такой водяной шквал является еще и носителем экстремальных доз радиации. Пройдя над Британскими островами, он превратит то, что от них, может быть, еще и останется,
For nearly 50 years, women in the United States have been able to get abortions, thanks to a ruling made by the Supreme Court. But this could all change. Overturning the 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling, which protects the right to access abortions, would lead to abortion bans in roughly half of US states. The draft document says that Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. The leaked document was published by Politico late on Monday. It was labelled a first draft, and it's unclear whether it represents the final decision of the court. But one thing is certain: it has been badly received in the capital.
At about 12 p.m. Wednesday, South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff announced in a text message to reporters that North Korea fired a ballistic missile toward the East Sea. That's the same area in Pyongyang where the North on March 24th conducted its first full ICBM test since 2017. The South Korean military said the missile flew about 470 kilometers at an altitude of around 780 kilometers. An official from the Joint Chiefs of Staff told reporters that it flew at a speed of up to 11 times the speed of sound. The missile was launched while the defense chief nominee Lee Jong-un's parliamentary confirmation hearing was taking place at the National Assembly. The nominee said the latest launch may have involved an ICBM, but there is also the possibility that it could have been a missile with a shorter range.
Al-Shabaab jihadists armed with guns and explosives stormed an African Union base in Somalia on Tuesday, triggering a fierce firefight that killed Burundian peacekeepers. A high-ranking Burundian military officer said about 30 soldiers were killed and another 22 wounded, while a dozen were missing. It was the first such attack on a peacekeeping base since the AU transition mission in Somalia, ATMIS, replaced previous AMISOM peacekeeping force on April 1. Al-Shabaab, which has been waging a deadly insurgency against Somalia's fragile central government for more than a decade, claimed responsibility, saying it had taken control of the camp and claimed to have killed 173 soldiers.
Tram trains are now a thing of the past in Beijing, with about a tenth of the city's transport network suspended. Plus, there's no school for at least a week. In-person classes for kindergarten, primary, middle and some secondary schools have shut up shop. And it's all in an effort to keep COVID-19 under control. China's capital city is desperately trying to avoid suffering the same fate as Shanghai, which is currently under a strict month-long lockdown. On Tuesday, it recorded 46 cases. Since April 22nd, Beijing has confirmed more than 450 infections across 14 districts.
My Jesus is bigger than your Jesus. That's what one city is saying to Rio de Janeiro's famous Christ the Redeemer statue. Tourists flock to see Christ the Redeemer tower over Copacabana and Ipanema beaches in Brazil. Now a small town in southern Brazil wants some of those tourism dollars for itself. Encantado, Brazil, with a population of less than 23,000 people, has built Christ the Protector in order to attract some of Rio's blessings, tourists. Including the base, the Protector is 141 feet tall, making it 16 feet taller than the Redeemer. The organization that began building the statue in 2019 says that makes Christ the Protector the largest Christ in the world. Just like its predecessor, this Christ stands with arms extended, but when visitors are welcome to Christ the Protector in 2023, they'll be able to look out over Encantado through Jesus' heart-shaped window.